Hey ghouls, Krueger, the sweetest psychopath you'll ever meet, and welcome back to my channel. Hey ghouls, well welcome back. Today we're going to be going over my top 10 favorite alien horror movies. Last week we did top 10 killer dolls, and I had so much fun just creating that, going back and watching some of those movies and go ahead. I had so much fun doing that, and I really got to relive some of my favorite killer doll movies. So I thought I'd go ahead and do the same thing today, but with aliens. I was trying to go for an alien look today, but I feel like, again, I kind of just like flopped and just did whatever. I feel like I look like a big paint splat, like you just threw a bunch of colors together and like swirled it all. I just look like a vomit. Although I'm kind of living for it. This wig is new, so she is a shake and go right now. I think I've like run my fingers through her, not really anything else. But anyways, I'm gonna stop babbling and we're gonna get to why we're here, and that is aliens. And one, there's gonna be spoilers because yes, we are talking about my favorite horror alien movies. So yes, we're gonna be talking about that movie and spilling some tea about them. Also, number two, before like people come up for me in the comments and say how can I leave them out, I went ahead and left out the movie Aliens, Predator, and The Thing. Yes, I know those are horror iconic movies, and they're pretty amazing movies. Like The Thing is one of my favorite films ever, and I really do love that movie. But for this countdown, I kind of want to keep it not so mainstream and kind of talk about some movies that are more underground and not that well known, to kind of give you a chance to explore the horror world more. So yes, definitely, like, I do love those three movies, Alien, Predator, and The Thing. I think they're amazing, but yeah, for this list I want to keep it more like B-movie, more underground. Anyways, I'm going to shut up and we're going to get to the movies. So anyways, I'm going to start off with my list with number 10, and that is going to be the movie Slither. When I was about in high school, and I remember me and my friend were super obsessed with this movie. Like, I loved it so much. This one kind of very much reminded me like of Night of the Creeps, so I'm sure it was heavily inspired by that. Except in this movie, also the movie Society, kind of like a combination of both. These alien slug things come out of a vagina cocoon thing, and they start infecting people and taking over their body. The main guy starts morphing into this ugly little like blister looking thing, and they all spit like acid venom, and they kind of like all morph together. Like if you've seen the movie Society, that's kind of what happens in the end. And of course they have to destroy the main alien to have everyone go back to normal, although I don't think they go back to normal. I think everyone stays dead in that one. I don't really remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. Now, I remember when this first came out, like, it was really well known, it was talked about a lot, but I feel like with time, the movies just kind of faded away. And not that many people talk about it anymore. Every time I've mentioned the movie, not that many people have seen it or even like remember it. Sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice out of nowhere. I'm just like really dry. I need my monster. Where's my monster? Oh, she's like... If you haven't seen Slither, I recommend checking that one out. It was pretty cute. It was a fun watch, and I think you guys would enjoy it. And number 9 would have to be Cloverfield. I remember when this movie first came out, the promotions for it were so awesome. They kind of released little clips here and there of the movie, like in trailers, but they never really gave a full description or even a name of the movie. So I remember me and my friends were so excited about this shit. We were there like the day the movie like launched, and oh my god, my friend got so motion sickness because it's kind of like a found footage film. She actually got motion sickness after waiting months for this movie to come out and had to sit in the lobby for like the majority of the movie. So this movie's kind of like, I want to say it's kind of like the American version of Godzilla, where this alien thing comes out of nowhere. Fun too, because there was like little Easter eggs that you would find out like before the movie came out, while the movie came out, and a little after. Like there's parts where the guy is he's videotaping over his friend's like, I guess home video, and at one point they say in the background when they're on a Ferris wheel, you could see something like falling from the sky and landing in the water, and that was like a couple months before the thing attacked, and apparently that was a thing coming from space before it attacked everybody. And one of my favorite things too is that this monster has like these weird little parasites that like fall off its body, and I feel like they're way worse than the actual thing itself. They're these like vicious little spider fuckers, and oh my god, it's all done. Like even if you get bit, like it's all done. This movie also spawned off a couple sequels. Cloverfield Lane I did enjoy, and the third one, Cloverfield. And the third one was Paradox. I didn't really enjoy that one. I remember I was so excited because it premiered on Netflix like right after one of those football game things, but it was just not the tea. I remember I remember being quite bored watching it, honestly. Bitch, what is wrong with me? Like, I was fine all day. The minute I sit down to fucking record a video, like, I'm starting to lose my voice. And we're barely on number 8. Number 8 is The Stuff. Now, if this is one you haven't seen, I really recommend checking it out. I believe this came out in 1985, and I just love like practical effects, like when they actually use like special effects and not like computerized shit. It's just, I don't know, it's just so much better and it looks so much more creepy. So this movie is again is about like this alien. So the stuff becomes this new like crazy food trend that everyone starts consuming. I guess kind of like how Go-Gurt was when that first came out or whatever. Of course, it's like an alien species that people are consuming, and as they are, it's like taking over their bodies and starting to possess them in weird ways to control them. It even affects the cute ass little Doberman that eats it, and of course, everyone that eats it forces others to eat it too, just so it could help kind of do the whole mind control thing. This little boy and this cop guy are the ones who kind of figure out that like something's up with this shit and try to stop it. But of course, everyone who's been already like taken over by this alien creature, they of course all the others start trying to go after them and kill them too. I really do recommend watching this stuff. Definitely checking it out. It's kind of like corny, but you know, killer yogurt in the 80s. I'm here for it. I love it. And next on this list has to be one of my ultimate favorite movies ever, and it would have definitely been higher on my list, but since this is technically not necessarily like a horror movie, it's placed where it is. And that has to be The Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This was another movie like me and a friend like would religiously watch in high school. I mean, it just has everything. I mean, it's totally camp, it's totally 80s, and it's a bunch of like killer space alien clowns that put you in cotton candy cocoons. And then they also have like these acid pies that they like throw at people and you melt. My favorite weapon of theirs has to be like their little popcorn gun. You think it's just like nothing, but then the popcorn like morphs into like these weird little like Jack in the Box popcorn little shits that try to eat you too. And then Dragzilla, of course, at the Clownzilla at the end, this giant like dinosaur clown thing. This movie is just so fucking fun and so amazing. I definitely want to get these guys tattooed on me. This is definitely one of like my ultimate favorite 80s movies. It's just so ridiculous. Like if you love clowns, you love space, this is definitely a movie you need to check out. The Killer Clowns is definitely like a cult classic. This is definitely one of those movies you have to check out for yourself if you have not seen it. It's just so corny, so funny, and that's just like right up my alley. I mean, they kill people with popcorn, pies, cotton candy, and even shadow puppets. It was just so trippy when I first saw this because I legit thought it was supposed to be super scary when I first saw it, and then I was honest like, it's funny. And but I really, really did enjoy this movie. I do hope that the sequel does come out in the future. I've heard and like seen so many different interviews where they've like confirmed that there is a part 2 coming out, and I'm just like waiting for it because, bitch, I am a killer clown from outer space, and I need a sequel. Although it better be done right. And then for the next movie too, like I said, this would be like number 1 if anything, but it's not necessarily a horror movie, so it's not as high as it should be because I fucking love this movie. This movie is like iconic. I grew up religiously watching this movie, and it's one of my ultimate favorite like movies. Like besides just favorite horror movies, this is like one of my favorite fucking movies ever, and that has to be Mars Attacks. I remember when I saw this movie as a kid, like the first thing that scared me too was like all the cows on fire. I don't know why that just totally disturbed me when all the cows are on fire. And also things with like big bulging eyes terrify the fuck out of me. So when I saw these little fuckers, I actually did get scared. So technically for me as like a 4-year-old when this movie came out, like I was legit scared of these little shits. Now, like, oh my god, they just make me laugh. They're so adorable. I love the fucking spy. She is everything. It has like a huge fucking cast. Like Danny DeVito, Jack Nicholson plays like 3 different characters in this fucking movie. There's Broadman, a young Jack Black, Michael J. Fox. There's just, this movie just has like every. But Mars Attacks is another movie where I'm like, oh my god, a sequel to this would be super amazing if it was done right. Like, they have comic books, and I love that in some of the comic books for Mars Attacks, they use, like, dinosaurs to, like, come back and fight, like, with the humans and shit. I think if they did a sequel and, like, it was just done right, like, it could be, like, the most fucking amazing thing ever, and I would die. So my list has to be The Faculty. This is one of my favorite movies ever coming out. Me and my friends still religiously watch this movie. This one is kind of like, I feel this is another movie that was really inspired by Night of the Creeps because it has kind of the same situation with the alien things like taking a human host and trying to control the human race. starring Elijah Wood. He is so adorable in this movie. Um, he's of course the little geek, and then there's like the goth girl. I always loved her, and then the jock, the drug dealer, the new girl, and the pretty. So the aliens are taking over their school. They of course attack the faculty first. That's the name of the movie. Like me and my friends always quote this movie on the part where they're all like trying to test to see if each other's an alien or not, and then you find out like the popular girl is the alien and she goes crazy and they're trying to shoot her and everyone's too scared to, and the goth girl grabs the fucking gun and she's like, I'll fucking shoot her, and starts chasing her out the house, shooting her. Me and my friends laugh at that part so much all the time. Usher's actually in this movie too. He's one of the football players. I thought he'd have a bigger role in it because at the time Usher was like the T. And next has to be Night of the Creeps. This is like one of my ultimate favorite alien movies like ever also. This one I feel has inspired other movies on this countdown, as The Faculty and Slither. This one has the alien slugs that kind of begins with this alien creatures like running through the spaceship, and he has this container that he shoots off down to Earth, contain the little like space aliens in it. And what I like about this movie so much too is that these aliens too also like take a human host, or actually anything, and the thing could be dead or alive, so it's kind of like a mixture of zombies and aliens. I always had a crush on the guy who has like the little crutch thing. I thought he was so cute. I think JC was his name. This movie also has some of like my favorite quotes ever, like the good news ladies, your dates are here, the bad news is they're dead. But Night of the Creeps is definitely another classic that you need to check out if you have not seen it. It is so fucking good. I didn't realize I didn't realize how much I like a lot of alien movies till like I'm doing this countdown and I'm like, wait, this movie is like one of my favorites of all time. Like I grew up watching this movie, I love this movie. And the next one definitely has to be up there with like one of the movies I religiously watched growing up, and that has to be Critters. Now there's like a couple sequels to this movie. I only like 1 through 3. Part 4 is okay. The trash ass series and the new movie that came out were just not it. This young Billy Zane with a full head of hair totally gets it in the barn. Even then I thought he was so cute and didn't realize he was the guy from Titanic till way later. But this movie has a little bit of everything. It has a fake 80s metal band, Johnny Steele singing Power of the Night. It has these bounty hunters that can morph into anything they can, so they could go to Earth and fight the Krites. So the Critters are actually these little aliens called the Krites, and they were imprisoned because their species was becoming extinct, because they had to be eradicated because they were eating like the whole entire food supply of their planet. But they escape, steal a ship, and they crash land on Earth. And it is so cheesy too, like the little, like it has little quirks here and there, but they're so cute. Just like little balls of fur, lots of teeth. I love them. Like I said, I only like part 2 and 3. Part 3 even stars a young Leonardo DiCaprio. Fun facts about Critters also is Bradley, the main young man in the movie. He actually voices Roger on American Dad, and it stars Dee Wallace, who's also the mom in E.T. and in the remake of Halloween, the Rob Zombie one. I've got to meet her a few times, and she is super sweet. Dee Wallace is one of like the nicest people I've ever met at a horror convention, and she is so sweet. The first time I ever met her was like, oh my god, you're in Critters. I love Critters. Fun fact, I think part 2 of Critters is the only PG-13 movie that actually shows boobs. When the bounty hunter turns into like the Playboy playmate, her whole suit of course like rips off and she's just there standing with her titties out going to like kill the critters. And but Critters is also definitely a fun watch. Like if you did enjoy Gremlins or Ghoulies or any of those little like monster movies, Critters is definitely one of those. They're just like a fun little. And number 2. Now, before I start this, I have to say the only 2 things that actually scare me when it comes to horror are sharks and aliens. Guys, so that's why this movie has to be number 2, because I remember seeing this movie like in the middle of the day, and this movie left me so disturbed and like really uncomfortable. Like I kept like, oh my god, like even the movie Signs, I remember I saw that when it first came out too, and the part where they're like watching the news and they're like, where is it, and the alien like walks by, like that scared the shit out of me. I mean, watching Scary Movie 3 is like totally like killed that scene for me. But I remember seeing that the first time, I was like, oh shit, it was fucking horrifying. And this movie, I saw this movie when it first came out in theaters with my stupid ex-boyfriend. Me and my other friend, we were like big horror fanatics, and like I said, nothing scares us. But for some reason, aliens and sharks for me are like the things that give me the fucking creeps. And I remember like even going like midday to see this fucking movie, and I was like, oh shit, like it really fucking creeped me out. And that is The Fourth Kind. It's kind of like one of those mockumentary movies that's supposedly based off a real case. I'm not too sure if it's based off like a real case or if that was just for the movie. But it stars the Milanovic. Oh my god, sorry if I fuck her name up. The chick from Resident Evil, where she's playing the doctor who kind of witnessed this whole thing. So she's like a therapist, and she sees a couple people who all have a similar story about seeing this white owl in the middle of the night in Nome, Alaska. Just like a small little town, but all these people have like the same problem where they keep seeing a white owl. Of course, later on you find out it's not an owl, it's a fucking alien. And oh my god, like the aliens are like taking over, doing some weird shit to them, that they start like convulsing and just doing really, really weird shit. Oh my god, like even just thinking about this movie gave me chills. I cannot watch this movie by myself. It's such a good movie. I don't know how much aliens may scare you guys, but if aliens are your thing to scare you, and that's my whole point of going to see a horror movie, is to get scared. And this is one of the few movies that I saw that really fucking disturbed me and gave me chills. Nothing has done that for me in a long time, except Hereditary. Hereditary didn't scare me, but it really left me on edge the whole time, and I love that. Because that's why I love horror, because I want to get a fucking reaction out like that. And The Fourth Kind definitely did that for me. I don't know why aliens do it for me. I'm just kind of like, I think the unknown scares me like the most, or like if something's after you and you just can't do anything about it. Like that's what I feel like. If aliens are coming after you, there's really nothing you could do about it. And the same thing with like sharks. Like if you're in their territory, like in water, there's not much you could do if a shark's coming after you except punching it. Except like if that was me, like I think I would even die just like the sight of a shark. Like I would be dead from a heart attack before it even like got to me to eat me. That's how fucking terrified I am of those things. I fucking hate sharks. So you'll never see my top 10 favorite shark movies, because I would not have the balls to edit that shit. And everything would be number 1 because sharks scare the shit out of me. And number 1 has to be a fucking classic. And I really like was thinking about where to place this movie, and I was like, it has to be number 1 because it just kind of fits. This movie came out in 1988, and it even just fits in with like society and everything today. And that has to be John Carpenter's They Live. I remember I saw this movie for the first time ever, like on TV when I was a kid, and the aliens, like I said, things with bulging eyes scare the shit out of me. And it stars a famous wrestler. I'm not too familiar with wrestling, so I'm sorry I forgot his name. I'll put it down there. And this movie also has a lot of iconic scenes, like the 6-minute fight scene, the whole line of the I came to chew bubblegum or kick ass and I'm all out of bubblegum. But this movie is just so trippy, and I feel like I mean, I wasn't really around in 88, so I don't know how like times were then, but definitely now with like the subliminal messages of consume and obey. Like that company man lives like in a homeless like community, especially if you live in bigger cities, you know what I'm talking about. And out of nowhere in the middle of the night, they're like overtaken by like police and like construction workers who are like tearing their community apart. So he finds these glasses, and they give him the power to see things that are being hidden from like the normal. He sees when he starts putting on these glasses, like all the billboards can have subliminal messages behind them, like marry and produce, obey, consume, no free thinking, watch TV, consume. My favorite thing is when he looks at the money, and the money like just says, "This is your God." It's just like, wow, like if this seems like this could, as corny as the movie is too, though, this seems very like legit for like what can possibly be going on. The aliens also have a group of humans that are helping them out, kind of selling out their own like humankind in exchange for like wealth and power, which is known as the elite. This movie is just so trippy. Like to me, I'm kind of like, well, this came out in '88, like. And there's this big like machine that they use that kind of helps hide all the subliminal messages and the aliens' identities. So he ends up getting to destroy their little machine that's like hiding the true identity of these aliens and all the subliminal messages. And I remember it stuck with me so much as a kid because this part always like creeped me the fuck out. So these people are sitting in a bar watching TV, and all of a sudden like the newscasters, you can see that they're aliens. One of the guys just sitting in the bar, and everyone turns to look at him because they can see that he's an alien. But the part that really like freaked me out is it cuts to this part where they're in this couple's bedroom, and the girl's like riding on the guy, and she's watching TV, and then she looks back down at him, and he's an alien. That always scared the shit out of me. I don't know what it was, but that always just like that's one of the things that's always stuck with me. So this movie just stuck out to me because although it is, like I said, it is kind of corny, I feel like this is like the closest to like real life an alien movie can get, with the whole like subliminal messages and the elite trying to take over. Like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Like, I do love listening to conspiracy theories for fun and everything, but that's why this movie was so fun for me, because of all that shit. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was my countdown for my top 10 favorite alien movies. Hopefully there was some there that you haven't seen that you guys definitely want to check out. I really recommend, if you haven't seen like Mars Attacks, Night of the Creeps, or They Live, or even The Fourth Kind, those are some you definitely need to check out. Those are like definitely, like, now that I think of it, my four, so they should all be top four. Those are like my favorite alien movies. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I'm definitely going to come out with more. I am going to do a quarantine haul next, all the shit I've been ordering offline since we are all stuck in quarantine. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. Smash that like button. If you want to hang out in between uploads, you can follow me on Instagram. That's terror_krueger. I upload almost every day, or at least on my stories. I just want to say thank you guys for subscribing. Please share this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.